So today's item we're going to be talking about is some items that popped up on the Chinese message boards of Baidu, and it's an update to some stuff that we talked about in early June about a next in the Transformers Beast Wars Again premium painted 2-packs. This is a fantastic line that takes all those past Kingdom and Legacy molds based off of Beast Wars characters, give them extremely amazing show-accurate paint color schemes, throw a little bit of homage to the old Beast Wars 1997 Japanese 2-pack packaging, and you get this amazing product that is just making us regret buying all of those Kingdom and Legacy ones back in the day. And we have another one here. It was originally leaked out back in early June, and we just had the one image, and now we have the full photo shoot. And there's some updates that we got to talk about, because even my guesses of how this was going to go about were different than what is actually happening here today. So let's get into it. This is the BW-VS05 Rocky Mountain Showdown Rattle and Terrorsaur, aka Rattrap and Terrorsaur. So again, an homage back to the old 1997 2-pack in Japan back in the day where those two battled, and they are continuing this today. So the Rattrap, when we first saw it, we only had the robot mode, and when I talked about it, I was like, it didn't look too different from that of what we got with Kingdom or even the Netflix 2-pack that we got. But now that we got these high-res images and we actually see the alt mode, there's a lot more going on than we originally thought, especially with the alt mode. And again, originally I wasn't feeling the difference, but now that we have high-res, beautiful images, first thing I noticed, they painted in the teeth for the robot mode head fantastically. And so he has his little two buck teeth like he had in his robot mode, so that's a nice little touch. The Netflix version didn't have it at all. They just washed it over with red paint. And even the Kingdom version, it's very lightly there. It's not as painted and noticeably. So this one, it looks a lot nicer, and that's really good, and I appreciate that. But then it falls into the alt mode, because the robot mode, again, that's debatable in terms of the colors. Really is pick your poison, which one you like more with the when it comes to the robot mode. But when we're talking the alt mode here, this is where everything shows how different it is and how much paint was going into it. Number one, the eyes are painted better. They're a lot more, I guess, cartoonish to match how it looked in the animation model. They painted the rat nails on the hind legs, which again was something like the original character had. He had little like dark nails on his hind legs. And again, when you go into the robot mode, that's present too. And even what's amazing this time around, which both versions, the Kingdom and the Netflix one, lack, they painted on little whiskers that this one did not have. So this is fantastic. I think it looks great. This is easily the best version of this core class one. Might not be the best version of the character thus far. Some people still feel that the deluxe that we got through the Generations Thrilling 30 line back then is still the best version. I still think maybe we're going to get a masterpiece at some point, which will blow them all out of the water. But so far, this is really good. This is really good. They really took what they had with the core class and blew it out of the water, and that's fantastic. Really like it. Now let's get to the Terrorsaur. Now, out of the gate, this Terrorsaur is a winner regardless, just by the fact of availability, because the Amazon version went up and it sold out, and it now is extremely pricey in the secondary market. The Buzzworthy Bumblebee version, while it's a great figure and everything, and I appreciate them doing the toy-accurate color scheme as an option, it doesn't really fill the need of most collectors that want to have show accuracy, and they missed out on the Amazon one and then have to pay those silly numbers. So this gives people an opportunity to not have to pay scalper prices and get probably, in my opinion, which is the best version of them all, of the bunch. The robot mode, like we saw before, it takes all of that red plastic that was used on the Amazon one, makes it white, and makes it show accurate. Now, when we're talking about white, color, and show accurate, that's where it gets a little debatable, because depending on which episode it was, depending on who was animating it, sometimes that white area could be gray, dark gray, silver. The lighting, too, also affects that. So they went with a white color scheme, but it could be a dark gray, maybe what some people would have preferred. Again, who knows what really is the final. I would actually probably would have preferred maybe a light gray. That would be the happy medium in between the dark gray silver and a vibrant white. But still looks really good, because the Amazon one used a lot of white, especially on the thighs and the shoulders, and that just does not look like the animation model at all. Where this one, by using the white, at least it breaks it up and makes it look really nice. A lot of the black plastic that was used, a lot of the red plastic that was used on the Amazon one is now made into black plastic, which again matches the animation model. Maybe it's not so much some of the joints and everything, but a lot of those joint areas that couldn't be done properly, it's because it's POM plastic. It can't be painted. And if they wanted to then mold it in that color, they'd have to use a completely different mold on a different sprue just to get the correct colors. That would cost more money. So they really made the best what they could with this to make the best possible animation accurate Terrorsaur. Even the gun, the fine idiosyncrasies with the gun. Yeah, the other two, the toy accurate buzzworthy Bumblebee one, it does its job by being all completely red because the original toy's gun was all red. But the Amazon one, they just painted the tip of the gun red and then painted the rest of it gray, and that was that, or actually was molded in red, and it was just the tip was red and stuff. It doesn't match how it looks in the animation model. This one, they actually, all of it is red as the barrel, so it matches how it looks in the animation. Again, the Beast Wars BW-VS version paints it correctly. It looks great. It's fantastic. And then we get into the Beast mode. And when we get into the Beast mode, it doesn't look like there's a lot going on that's really different, but what I really like is, number one, the hue of the red matches more of how the animation model looks, so I really dig that. The beak that he has, they actually painted the inside of the beak also, not just kind of ending at, let's say, the outside of it, so there's more paint detail that's put into the inside of the mouth and the beak itself, where the budget was probably limited with the Amazon one. And even the little fine details on the back of Terrorsaur's Beast Mode head, I guess his little back horn, whatever you want to call it, for his pterodactyl head, it actually has a little bit of like smoked detail on the back, a little bit of black kind of paint, which matches how the animation model was, where he had a little bit of a black kind of taper to the back there. So that little fine detail, it's very nice that they went with that, and I dig that a lot. So you're getting pretty much the best Terrorsaur you could probably get out of this too, and it's easily available as opposed to the Amazon one. Now, the next question is, how much is this going to cost for this 2-pack? Because the previous sets that we had, so like the BW-VS Optimus Primal with Megatron, that was a leader class and a Voyager. It was $104.99. The BW-VS02, which was the Rhinox and the Scorponok, that was a Voyager and a deluxe class at $69.99. The BW-VS03, the Cheetor and the Waspinator 2-pack, was 2 deluxes. That was $54.99. Now, here's where this gets funky. So you would think the BW-VS04 Tigatron and Blackarachnia, a Voyager and a deluxe, like the Rhinox, would be the same price, but no, it was actually cheaper than the Rhinox and the Scorponok. It was $64.99. Maybe because Blackarachnia is smaller. Now, Japan is notorious for kind of like, they don't have price points like we do where everything's hard and fast and has to meet a budget. They go, oh, this is how much it costs. This is how much we're going to charge. So this is a deluxe and a core class with Terrorsaur and Rattrap. Depending on how the budget works, depending how much paint they put in, this will be easily the cheapest out of all the sets thus far. So we just know that it's definitely going to be cheaper than $64.99. That's all we could say for sure. Now, what about release date? Well, again, looking at the past, the Primal 2-pack is November, the Rhinox 2-pack is December, the Cheetor 2-pack is January, and the Tigatron 2-pack is February. This is probably going to be March of 2024. When these will probably go up on pre-order? Well, we had those retailer masterpiece pre-order images we talked about a few days ago for July 7th or July 6th, Japan time, America time here. So I'm going to take a guess, probably July 7th, July 6th, aim for that window to start the pre-orders, and it'll probably show up on Hasbro Pulse too, like the other ones. So very excited about this. Fantastic news. Again, this is great for Beast Wars fans. This is great for people who maybe missed out on some of these characters when they were in retail or on Amazon. So you get the best versions of them, and it's going to come in a cool box and everything like that. Now the question is, who's next? What's the next one? Well, in my opinion, they're going with Dinobot and Tarantulas for sure. The original 1997 VS04, I believe it was, the Ferocious Showdown 2-pack, was those two characters together back in 97. So they're probably going to take those two molds. They're going to take the Kingdom Voyager Dinobot, the Legacy Deluxe Tarantulas, slam those two together, go back to 1997, give it the best possible paint scheme they could do, and Takara is going to knock it out of the park yet again. And we're going to have a little mini masterpiece with Dinobot and Tarantulas, and it's going to be fantastic. I'm excited about this. This is great stuff. Let me know what you think, guys. Super cool stuff. And we'll talk again more on the Transformer Slag podcast. And this was a fantastic Transformer Tuesday.